Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I am in Central VA and the weather is absolutely beautiful. So thanks for hopping on my live with me. My name is Autumn and I am with SWC 2.0 and I do digital marketing. I'm a working mom with 2 babies and a husband, and I wanted something a little extra to bring in income that did not require me to leave my home. So here I am. So for like a while, I was really trying to figure out, how do I make extra money? I'm in a career. I've been in my career for 24 years, right? So I'm thinking about things like retirement coming up in the next 10 to 11 years and padding that. And, you know, I've got, children that are expensive. We love to travel with our children and those things add up. And so I'm thinking, okay, so how can I bring extra income into our home without having to leave the house, right? And so for a long time, I was online on TikTok, YouTube, trying to figure out how people are making money. And I was like doing a lot of random things. I really wasn't connecting for me. So I was kind of like all over YouTube, trying to figure out who to follow. What do I do? I knew I was interested in digital products, but I really didn't know what that meant. It was very confusing to me. So I was trying a lot of things that were just random and just really didn't connect for me. And like I said, I'm a working mom, so my time is limited. Excuse me. So, I landed on, SWC, which was actually something I found here on TikTok. And I watched for a long time. And so, and then I finally joined. And so what SWC is a digital marketing program that houses digital marketing education. So digital marketing would be things like digital products that you sell online. Could be an ebook, could be like a KDP on Amazon, which is kind of like it's very similar to a book or a digital book. Print on demand. A lot of people like print on demand, drop shipping. What else? So that's digital marketing. And that was a space I was really trying to get into. And I just didn't understand how that all fit together. And so when I landed on SWC, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. It was actually an answer to prayer for me, because I just was like, okay, Lord, I'm just trying to figure out how to do and live in this digital marketing space, but I don't know how any of this works. So I landed on my mentor's page here on TikTok, and I watched for a while. And I was like, well, this is interesting because it sort of encompasses all the things that I've been looking into, but didn't know how to put together, right? And so what it is a course that trains you on 24 different ways. No, I think we're more than that now. It's like almost 30 different streams of making money in one course. Now that can be very intimidating to a lot of people, but what I like to tell people is when you go to the grocery store, they probably have 50,000 SKUs or items for sale, right? But when you go into a grocery store, you don't buy all of those items. You go and buy the things that were on your list, right? So, before I get off topic, let me bring myself back. One of the things that's been really popular lately is UGC, which is user-generated content. And I actually just landed my first UGC gig earlier this week, so that was pretty exciting. It also teaches TikTok Shop. I think I already said print on demand. It connects everything step by step. So you're not kind of out here like I was, running around like a squirrel trying to figure out how to put all this together. It really, really helped me to stop guessing on how to make money in the online space. So I've been in and out of network marketing for probably around 18 to 20 years. I've done probably just about every company, Avon, Mary Kay, all of those network marketing companies. And I love them. And I have found some fantastic people and some fantastic products. But I really wasn't here for, it got very stressful for me trying to build a downline. I really didn't want to do that anymore. That just was a lot to me. It was a lot of pressure. Again, I'm a working mom, so I don't really have time to, really be dragging people along, right? I hate to say that, but you know what I mean if you've ever done network marketing. So for me, this switch to digital marketing and affiliate marketing was a really great jump for me, because it took a lot of the pressure away from having to have people join, having to create a team, because there's none of that in affiliate marketing. If you're not familiar with affiliate marketing, basically you are, let's say you go to Target and you buy an item, and you go to work or school or wherever the next day, and someone says, "Hey girl, love your dress, where'd you get it?" And you're like, "Oh, I got it at Target." Well, Target doesn't pay you for that, but affiliate marketing does, right? So I really prefer the affiliate marketing space. I just, I didn't want to create a team. I just wanted to learn skills. I just wanted to learn. And so for me, the investment into a digital marketing course was worth it for me, because I really didn't have time to be kind of all over the place. I needed one place I could go to learn how to do this, how to exist in this space, how to make money in this space, how to build, create a buildable income, if that makes sense. So for me, I've been in since January. I have created lots of digital items. I have created several guides and ebooks that I sell. I have created, actually I have an Etsy shop, and I have created print-on-demand items. And if you're not familiar with print-on-demand, that is a part of this program. And what that is most people will think usually mugs and t-shirts. There's a lot more to it. But when you go to like Etsy and you purchase a really cute t-shirt for Mother's Day or a mug, a lot of those items are print-on-demand. So what I did was I created, in a nutshell, I created, had an idea for what my t-shirts and my mugs would look like. I created those in Printify, uploaded them to Etsy, and I'm giving you this super simplified version, but uploaded them to Etsy. And so when someone wants to purchase something from my Etsy shop, they purchase from there. It talks to Printify. Printify creates the product from the design that I made, and they also ship out the item. So that's print on demand. So that's something that I'm doing. I find it's very interesting. As with everything, there's a learning curve. And I have created a lot of digital products as well. If you check out the link in my bio, you can, and I don't have enough followers yet to have a clickable link. So if you copy and paste the link in my bio, it will take you to some of the digital products that I've created. I've done some freebie guides based on digital marketing, selling online. I have a heart for network marketing. If you're just popping in, I was in network marketing for a long time. And so I felt like a lot of times I didn't get the training that I should have gotten, right? So I created a guide for those women in that space. One of the things that I truly love is helping people. So I took all of my knowledge and put it down onto a digital guide, and a workbook to go along with it. And I will tell y'all, I didn't know anything about anything when I started creating these. And so this was surprising to me that I was this creative. And a lot of people say, well, I don't know about, creating digital guides. You do, a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think that someone else would want to know, right? So you can check out the link in my bio. You can check out and grab some of the freebies that I've created. So these are things that, I've actually done that came from what I've actually learned in this course. And as a mom and a wife, it fits my life way better than going out and working part-time at like the mall or, wherever, because, you come home from work, you have children, you're tired, right? And so you don't have the energy to go out and work another job. And so this works best for me because I can do this from my home, from my phone, wherever I am. So a little bit, more how I got into digital marketing. I was kind of saving posts. I was going on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, saving posts, trying to recreate what they did. I just wasn't really connected. I didn't really understand how like everything, worked together. For me, that created too many options and no real clear path. And so when I saw SWC, I was like, well, this really shows how everything, if you see me looking down, I have some notes here because I will nerd out about this and go way off track. So anyway, SWC shows me how everything fits together in the digital marketing space. One of the biggest questions I get is, do you make money? I do. So, there's a lot of space for creativity. A lot of people say this market is saturated. It's not, because what you're getting is a course to teach you how to do these things. And everybody's not creating the same thing. You know, what I have in my head is not what the next person has in their head. So, you know, our creativity is going to be totally different. So, I, you know, like needed something structured and very beginner friendly. I'm 46 years old. I, you know how to use the internet and know how to use a lot of things, but I did not know how to make money online. That was a big hurdle for me. And so when I saw this program and being a structured place that I can go and learn everything, I jumped on it. You know, I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. You know, I got them many, many moons ago. But I probably spent, you know, $80-some thousand on my formal education. And so what I don't have access to anymore, and I'm not saying anything about my formal education, it was fantastic, but it's got dust on it, right? Because that was 20-some years ago when I graduated college and grad school. And so what I don't have access to anymore is those teachers, those books. Guess what? The books that I purchased every semester are now, well, I won't even say now, by the end of the semester, you usually had to get an updated version, right? And so one of the things that I love about this program is that you basically have lifetime access. So we just got an email today that they updated, added an additional module to the program. That's awesome. You know, you pay once, you get in a program, they continuously add modules. And so it's for your learning. What you're paying for is education. I think we're at 50-some modules. And again, a lot of people are like, well, that's a lot. 20+ streams of income is a lot. It's overwhelming. Again, when you go to Target, you have a list of things that you're going to get out of Target. You don't go into Target and you buy everything on every shelf in the store. And so for me, when I hopped in this program, I wanted to do affiliate marketing. I wanted to do print on demand, Etsy shop, creating digital guides, because as I said earlier, I really love to help people. And so that's exactly what I did. I'll probably be moving on to eventually doing things like TikTok shop, Amazon reviews, things like that. But it's all a learning process. You know, nothing is overnight. And so what people do is they're getting in this online space now. And, you know, by the way, this space is booming. So, you know, it's not going anywhere for a while. You get in, you learn one stream. You know how to do that. So let's say you get in, you learn how to do print on demand through Etsy. You open your Etsy shop, you do the work, put the work in, and get your print on demand shop working, right? And then you stack another stream on top of it. And that's how people are creating generational wealth. And it may not even be about wealth for you. It may just be about making $500 to $1,000 a month to pay for, like, I don't know, your kid. Daycare is expensive, y'all. Like, it, you know, a lot of people are making tons of money in this space. But even if you just wanted grocery money, this is, you know, a great place to do that. It's very structured and very beginner friendly. If you want to see the direct link, you can go into my link and copy and paste that and look into SWC. All very beginner friendly. Let's see. And, you know, while I'm here, let me show you the inside of the program. It's actually in the school app, which was also new to me. So a lot of this was new to me when I got started back in January. I'm no pro, but I'm still learning. And let's see. Oh yeah. So here today, I hope y'all can see that right here, they announced that they did a new module. So this is creating your AI replica. I think that's really cool. I paid once for a program and they continuously update it. I mean, you know, had they have done that with my, you know, any other class, that's like kind of unheard of, right? Okay, so when you go inside, here are the modules, and they're all self-paced, right? Those green lines, hope y'all can see that. Those green lines are the modules that I've gone through. There are tons of them. Again, can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be, because this is a learning process, right? Nobody jumps into something one day and is a complete perfectionist the day after. Life just doesn't work like that. So let's see if I can show you some, branding, all things branding, marketing for the modern day man. There are a lot of women in digital marketing, but also there are a lot of men in this space as well. And so there are modules just on that. Effective selling, that was definitely something that I was interested in, because I am interested in the affiliate marketing portion. It is not a requirement. It is a complete choice. Everything inside this course is a choice. Let's go to page 2. Okay, so Instagram blueprint. If you were to create an Instagram and you don't know how that works, there's a whole module on that. Email marketing, going faceless. That's a pretty good one, because a lot of people in the online space aren't comfortable sharing their face. I initially, when I got into this space, I was like, I'm not ever sharing my face. Here I am. I make TikToks. I am not like a super pro. I'm a beginner. And here I am on TikTok Live, which I said I would never, ever do because I felt too shy to do it. I don't know. I grew. I decided to, take a chance. This is probably my 4th or 5th live, and I enjoy it. Let's see. Reading upside down is not my strong suit. Okay. Power of sales funnels, PLR vault. What I do like about this program is in the PLR vault, you actually get done for you digital products. So let's talk about that for a second, right? If you hop into the digital space and you're like, I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to be selling, you don't have to create anything right now. It's all done for you. So actually, let me pull this back up and see if I can go inside. All of these are done. These are items that you can pull into Canva, rebrand them with your name and your information, and sell them. Those are digital products. Not only that, but you can also resell the program, which is not a lot of people. There's huge misconceptions about that people who are in digital marketing space are just in the programs just to resell the program. And that is absolutely not true. Reselling the program is a complete choice. That's just, I don't, it's a really unfortunate, because I think a lot of people think that oh, it's a pyramid scheme. There are a lot of misconceptions out there, but when you buy a digital marketing course like SWC, what you're buying is education. You're not buying, like, say for instance, you joined whatever new cosmetic company. You're not buying a whole bunch of cosmetics, so you got to resell and then you're stuck with them, right? I have been an eBay reseller for probably about 10 years now. And I love it. I'll never leave. But I have to go out and source my items. I have to make time to go to the thrift store or to yard sales. And like tomorrow's Saturday, it's Mother's Day weekend. I'm like, do I want to get up at 7 o'clock to go to yard sales? Not really, because I don't feel like it tomorrow. I'm tired. I work all week and I have kids, right, and a husband. So, when you do things like that, and they're fantastic, but it just depends on the time of the amount of time that you have for yourself. So for me to sell on eBay, I have to go to the thrift store. I have to make a concerted effort to go buy things, right? And bring them home and clean them up and take pictures, and all that's fine. Just like, with network marketing, you generally have to buy a product. With something like this, that's not what this is. The digital space is all, you're not selling, units of an item, right? For instance, I have some freebies. If you're just joining me, I did touch on this earlier. I have some freebies that I created in the link in my bio, right? All that took was my time. I was sitting at home, and I came up with some ideas of things that I wanted to create, and I created them. The program showed me how to create those digital products, right? And so, I always laugh and say it's almost like selling nothing. It isn't, but it is, right? So you create that PDF, you throw it into, a link, and then you advertise for the link, and that's how you make sales, right? So you don't ever even have to leave the home to do this, to do the digital marketing space. And if you're keeping up with like what's going on in the world now, let's not talk about the bad stuff, but I mean like all the good stuff. Forbes said that the digital marketing industry is going to be like a multi-billion-dollar industry in the next 10 or so years. No, probably 3 to 5. Because people are recognizing the need to make extra money. Inflation is insane right now. Some people just want an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, and that's absolutely fine. What I like about this space is that it gives you the latitude to do what you can and what you want. Like I said, when I was in network marketing, and I actually still am in network marketing, I just don't push the business side. But I love Plexus products, and so I still use them. But for that, it was a lot for me because I had to sign up at least 3 people to make rank, and then another 3 to make the next rank, and then another whatever, right? And so you're always pushing to make rank. And the problem with that, again, fantastic. Network marketing is fantastic, but the problem with that for me as a working mom is I ain't got time for all that. It's a lot. And then if somebody stops ordering, then that changes, your rank for next month. I don't want to figure that out. I want something that I can just do on my own, in my own time, right? And that can lead to a passive income. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you jump in this today and you're making $1 gazillion. That's not how this works. That's not how anything works. That's actually why network marketing gets a bad rep as well, because people think once you sign up, you're making $1 gazillion. You actually have to do the work. But what I like about this as opposed to network marketing is you're buying education, right? And they're always updating that education. So there's always an avenue to pivot, to try something different. And I'm always learning and growing. Again, when I first started digital marketing, SWC, that was in January. I was like, I will never put my face out. Like, I'm too embarrassed. I'm too, like, what if people see me? Here I am. My face is all out, right? So anyway, I'm getting off track. I'm supposed to be staying on my little notes here, but y'all, I really nerd out about this digital marketing space. So let's see. So one of the things I really liked about this space is that you don't need a big following. And as a matter of fact, to prove myself, if you go to my link in my bio, it's not clickable. You know why it's not clickable? Because I don't have enough followers, but it's still there, right? So this is something I'm doing and making money at, but I don't have a gazillion followers. You don't have to have, this is not like influencer stuff. This is like, I'm creating things for people to buy from home, right? That's basically what we're talking about here. There's no reselling required. I resell the program because as it's a passion for me. I'm 46 years old. I was starting to feel like a little behind in understanding the digital marketing space. What are these people talking about? I didn't want to be an influencer, right? And so I know there are other women out there just like me. So that is why I resell the program. But that's not a requirement. And this may be your first interaction with any kind of digital marketing, but a lot of people will say, oh, you have to resell. You don't have to resell a thing. It's not fast money, but what you're learning is a skill. And you can never, there are several companies, network marketing companies, that have gone out of business over the years, right? And so you buy all this stock, you're making rank, the company goes under. What happens? Like, your income is gone, you've got all this stuff. This is not what that is, right? This is you purchasing training, continuous live, or it's not always live, but continuous training for skills on how to make money online. So let's just say that SWC falls apart tomorrow. That's really not the case, but you still have the knowledge. You can still put these things to work and make money to bring in for you, your family, whomever, right? Let's see. A lot of people lack the structure. So for me, when I was trying to understand the digital marketing space, I was like, what? So for me now, I'm like, I can go into SWC is housed in the school app. And so on my way to work, on my way from home work, cleaning up, whatever, I can listen to modules and learn. So it's all self-paced. So as I was showing you all the modules earlier, those modules, I think I forgot to say, they're all self-paced. So they're all pre-recorded, right? They do have live trainings several times a week, and they have live mentorship calls several times a week. And so there's always an opportunity for you to learn more. It's not like if you don't log in by 8 o'clock and listen to this call, you're done. You can't, I know for me, again, full-time job, 2 kids, husband, I'm tired. By 8 o'clock at night, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm exhausted. So I will listen to the live training calls the next day when we have them, or the mentorship calls the next day. So if you've been interested in what I've been saying to this point, there is a live breakdown in the unclickable link in my bio, and you can check that out at any time. Now we'll talk about the program itself and what you're actually getting. So your purchasing a course that allows you to learn and teaches you multiple streams of income. Digital products, affiliate products, UGC, TikTok. UGC is huge right now. Actually, it's funny because Pet UGC is also huge now. If you are not familiar with UGC, it stands for user-generated content. Brands are paying people to make content for them. That's huge, right? Because people want authentic content. And you know what's also really cool, if you're like an old millennial or like young Gen Xer, that age group is like, they're really, because there's not a lot of competition there. And so a lot of UGC content opportunities out there for that age group. And as I said before, there are 20 some streams of income. You hop in, you pick a few that you like. Once you learn those, you put those into motion, you make money from those, right? And you start stacking your income. There's the sky's the limit. So for the program, actually SWC is having a sale and it ends tonight. It's normally $596, but right now we're at, I think it's $470. Hey, Shannon. I was just thinking about you earlier. Actually, we're running a sale, so it's $471. And it does have payment plans. A lot of people start with a payment plan. So for a lot of people, what happens is you hop on the program, right? Maybe you don't have the full amount. Maybe you, you do a payment plan and, let me make sure I'm not missing any. Oh, she says, hey, friend, hey. You can join if you decide to do the affiliate portion of it, right? And you sell this program to someone else. That's $506 in your pocket, right? And you haven't even finished your payment plan. So what you're purchasing is a training course so that you understand, but you can also resell the training course as it is. Now, I will say I did add something new because the economy is yikes, right? I went grocery shopping today. It was insane. So I added a new program. It is called Made from Zero. And I added this because a lot of people were really interested in a digital marketing space, but maybe $596 was a little steep for them. Made from Zero is my new addition, and that is $177. You can start that with zero down. Made from Zero is very similar to SWC, except it doesn't offer as many streams of income. So if you are wanting to get into the digital online space, and you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, Made from Zero is a fantastic option for people. If you're interested in affiliate marketing, it teaches that. If you're interested in letter writing, it teaches that. And if you're interested in UGC, it teaches that. And that is a fantastic way to like get in and get your feet wet. I always recommend the full course if you're able to do so, because it just offers so much more. But that's not for everybody. And I'm not the person to say, I'm not the person to push anything on anyone, that they aren't ready for or can't afford or anything like that. Right. So yeah, those are my two options now. And I added Made from Zero last week, I think. And mostly because I happened to see that my SWC mentor was doing it. And I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. Let me add this. Because I've just talked to a lot of people and they're like, hey, the economy sucks right now. $596 is steep. Also with Made from Zero, you can also resell that course as well. And I'm pretty sure the commission rate on that is 70%. And so that would be, I don't like doing math in public, y'all. That's 100 and something in your pocket. We'll just say that, right? So, and I didn't want to put out the extra money for Made from Zero, but I was like, let me just give it a whirl. So I actually did the zero down payment option. And I think it's like $12 a month or something like that. Just because I was like, let me try it. So yeah. So anyway, let me see if I have any questions in the chat. I don't think I do. Y'all, I need to get my, I don't like calling them bifocals. I need to get like my progressives updated because I feel like I'm like always looking through the bottom. I need to actually go get those fixed. But anyway, so yeah, so, for those of you just joining me, my name is Autumn. I've been in a digital marketing online space since January with SWC. I will say I absolutely love it. I love doing it. I love learning it. I love talking about it. I love that I didn't spend my money to buy a bunch of products and then I'm like, now what the heck do I do? I love that I'm able to use my creativity. I was talking earlier, for those of you who may just be joining, I was talking earlier that I used to be in network marketing, and I've absolutely loved network marketing for years. What I found is that in that space, it isn't always a supported space, right? So people jump in, your upline makes money, and then like you kind of feel a little ghosted, or you don't know what to do, or marketing isn't your strong suit, and then you feel stuck. So I used some of my creativity I kind of went back and I was like, you know what? I remember being in that space. Let me write an e-guide for that. Let me create that. Went into SWC. There's a whole module on creating digital guides. I was completely blown away because at 46 years old, like my brain doesn't necessarily work like that. I mean, I'm not calling myself old, but just in the space that I'm in now, you know, my 20s and 30s, I can keep up with technology a lot faster than I can now. But I have 2 kids and they're teenagers and there's a lot going on in my head. I didn't even know I could do those things. And so, you know, I say this to say, when I talk about the program to a lot of people, people are like, oh, you know, that's a lot. I don't know how to do that. Me, I didn't either. January, I think 3rd or 4th, I was like, I kept praying about it and I talked to my husband about it. And my husband is very, very sweet because he was like, literally, I will actually just pay for you to join. And that was that meant a lot to me because I didn't want to spend my money, but also, also because I just, you know, he could see the passion in my eyes and I've been nerding out since digital marketing, ever since. I do make money. It is something that's got to be buildable. You know, I said earlier, a lot of people jump into these programs and they're like, oh, you know, it didn't work because I didn't make, you know, $10,000 in the first month. That's not how life works. Like, can you imagine if we could just join stuff and make money? Like, you know, none of us would be concerned about the economy or how much groceries cost or why does summer camp cost. Y'all, summer camp is insane. Like, why? You know, this could be summer camp money. This could be grocery money. This could be, we like to travel with our children. We did a Mediterranean cruise summer before last. It was last summer. It was absolutely amazing. It was also extremely expensive. And so, you know, for our family, you know, what I'd like to do with my children is, you know, get their passports stamped up a whole lot before they leave our house and go off to college or life or whatever they're going to do. And that stuff is pricey, right? 4 plane tickets anywhere you go is ridiculous. And so for me, I was like, you know, I really want to make money, but I don't want to have to leave the house. Now, I'm not going to lie. I used to work retail a long time ago and I loved it. I love fashion. I love, you know, I would love to get a job at the mall, but I don't have time. When I get home from work, I'm done. I'm tired. I got 2 kids. As soon as I, you know, come in the house, yeah, I got to hear about the day. And then, you know, my husband's been working all day too, right? So I needed something that was going to fit around my schedule. You know, I'm not going to say that this is, you know, you just jump in and it's so easy. There's a learning curve. You have to learn. You have to understand. But what you're paying for is the education. And, you know, I have I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I could not ever go back to those teachers and ask them anything. None of that stuff was none of that was even online because that was before the online space. But those books were like useless the minute that semester was over, right? And so what I love about SWC is and made from zero, is that they're always continuously updating modules, continuously adding things, and they listen to feedback. So what I find interesting about SWC, and I tend to talk about that more because I've been with them longer. Made from zero, like I said, I just started last week, and I haven't done a lot of modules in there, but it was really something I wanted to add for moms who wanted to get into digital marketing space but didn't have, you know, maybe $5.96 to spend on SWC. So, y'all, I lost my train of thought. It was a really good point too. Why? I don't remember. Let me see. Do I have? All right, no comments. Y'all don't be scared. If you have a question, I am a literal open book. I'm just out here trying to help other moms like me who feel overwhelmed and stressed and there's money is tight and yada yada. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. So I'm always an open book, and I'm not, I hate when people like get salesy and they just like want to sell you something. I mean, like, I would love for you to buy the course. But I don't, our money is precious and our time is precious, especially us moms, right? Because we ain't got time to be wasting or money to be wasting. Like, we have to have, I don't know about you, but my days are like segmented, right? And so I just don't have time, and I don't want to make anyone else feel pressured. So if you have questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me anytime. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Y'all, this is why I keep my notes, because I just be getting off track. Anyway, okay, so before I started SWC, I was literally all over the place. I was YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Well, how do you do this? How do you do that? Who do I follow? Like, it was like a lot for my brain to process. I knew that there's money to make in the online space. I did not know how to connect those dots. When I saw SWC, it's a program to tell you exactly step by step on how to create these digital income streams, right? That was when the light bulb moment went off for me. I was talking about my formal education earlier. I probably spent $80,000 on formal education. And some people spend that and don't even work inside their major, right? So for me to spend $496, and don't forget it's on sale until tonight for $471, I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer, because I can pop in, I can pop out, I can have my little headphone in, my little, I don't know, what are these called? My Beats. Listening to the different modules. They do live trainings, and the schedule has changed. I know that there was a live training. So actually, I'm double talking, y'all. Both SWC and Made from Zero both do live UGC trainings. SWCs, I think, are on Fridays, and Made from Zeros, I'm not as familiar with them yet, but at least once or twice a week. I did score a brand deal UGC. I have been a little bit more nervous to get into that because it's very overwhelming to me. So I've had to take my time to try to figure it out. I've got my little portfolio, but I did get a UGC deal this week, and I'm very proud of myself. But some people are making, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month on UGC alone, right? Actually, let me show y'all the testimonials inside the program. I forgot to show you that earlier. But that's just on UGC alone. And that's why I added Made from Zero for those folks who may want to get into that, but may not want to pay for the full course. Because you got to start somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all, I can't talk and this is terrible. Oh, okay. Here we go. I can't talk. I can't do two things at one time. Okay. All right. Let's see. Can y'all see that? All right. I am not good at reading upside down. I hope you can see it. Okay. Let me do it like this. Oh, website flipping. This person just made $31,000 from website flipping. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen the website flipping module, but I'm working on the other modules because I have to segment for myself. So I'm doing print on demand, Etsy, and digital guides and affiliate marketing. So I'll get to website flipping eventually. But this person made $31,000 in website flipping, right? Oh, no, this is what I was just talking about. This person made $6,000 from April UGC payouts. When I tell you that UGC is like popping off, I mean it. And this cracks me up because they're pet UGCs. I do not love animals. I'm so glad my kids aren't here to hear me because they'd be like, Mom, I don't hate animals, but I'm not an animal person. But to do a UGC video with your dog or cat or whatever, that's insane. Here's someone talking about they got their first sale. And I will tell you what I love about this community is that you can post things like that and people will clap for you. That's also very important, right? Lives aren't scary. This was me about a month and a half ago. I was terrified. I was like, if I have to do a live, I might, it's not so bad. Let's see. Speaking of, I get to talking and make sure I don't want to miss any comments. Okay, cool. First paid gig. Now this, like, I wish this were me. 71,000 in the first 3 months of 2026. Lord, I see what you've done for others, right? So it's legit. Programs like this are something that you have to put your energy and time into. A lot of people like to say you can do it in the pockets of your days. You can do it in the pockets of your days. I don't work like that, because for me, a pocket of my day might be 10 minutes. So like for me, I will take an hour or two here or there to like listen to the modules. If I'm off one day or we have a holiday and I'm off, I will, like really dig in, because for me, I mean, at 46, I'm staring retirement in the face in the next like 10-ish years. And so I want to be able to create stackable digital passive incomes, but also there are some that just aren't passive, right? So I want to be able to learn those things so that it becomes second nature. You learn by doing. So let's see, what else? All right. Questions, anyone so far? No, none? Okay. And I'm going to have to hop off here in about 10 minutes because I've got to go pick my daughter up from school, and that, that's one thing I really love, is that I can sort of move this around my schedule, right? So I had like an hour or two before I had to go pick up my daughter, and so here I am doing a live, which is funny because I said I would never do lives. I was too shy. I'm too embarrassed. I'm very shy in person, although most people who know me probably would not say that. But one thing I have really loved about being in this digital marketing space is I've learned to do things that I probably would have not considered before, right? Going live on TikTok was like TikTok for me was only for scrolling, but here I am. And so I've learned and stretched and grown as a woman, and you get sometimes bogged into the mom, wife life, and you forget to do something for yourself. And so this is what I wanted to do for myself, right? I want to learn a skill that not only can create generational wealth for my family, allow us, some more travel budget room and all that, but also something I can pass on to my children, right? And they're much faster than I am with anything technology related. One of my daughters loves children. She wants to be a teacher. And so I'm like, hey, let's sit down and create some digital coloring books, right? And so that would be a great passive income for her. She'll be going off to college in a couple of years, and let's be honest, college is not cheap, and neither is putting these children up for college, right? So I'm like, it would be awesome if you had a passive income. So for me, was the $596 worth it? 1,000%, because this is something that we're talking about, situation that can allow you to have legacy money, right? And independence for your children. And, when I retire, I would love to retire before 60, right? And I don't want to have to feel like I have to work. And so, that's where this, kind of spurred from for me. Anyway, I am off on a tangent again. I told y'all, I love to talk about digital marketing. I have got to hop off of here to pick up my daughter. If you're interested in signing up for either SWC or Made from Zero, there is a link in my bio, and it will connect you to both. It takes you to my Stand store, which is one of our processors that I meant to talk about too on live, but I forgot. And you can click there. Both of them have payment options. I did Made from Zero, like I said earlier, from zero down. It's $177, but I did zero down because I was like, let me just try it. For me, it was like $12 a month or something like that, right? But if you're a mom like me who's just, passionate about caring for your family, wanting more, but not sure where to start or where to go, I would love to lock arms with you in the digital marketing space. I've been in since January. Everybody's like mentor. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've been in here since January and I'll be your mentor. What I will do is lock arms with you, and we'll do this step by step. It's not that I don't want to be a mentor, but I don't like a lot of people sometimes people being icky on the online space, right? I'm still learning, and I will learn right alongside with you. So anyway, if you're interested in joining Made from Zero or SWC, the links are in my bio. I also have some freebies in there, and then some other guides that I've created that you may be interested in. Message me anytime. I am an open book and happy to talk digital marketing with you. Anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day. It is so beautiful here in Central Virginia. I actually walked my daughter to school this morning, so that was really, really nice. So I hope wherever you are, the weather is good. My intention is to go live again tomorrow. But if I don't, you have questions, I'm here. All right. Y'all have a good Friday.